morning students. Welcome back to the Principles of Electricity. In Principles of Electricity we have studied in the last class charges. We came to know that there are two types of charges, positive charge and negative charge, and electrons are the negative charge carriers and protons are positive charge carriers, that we already know. And the charge is nothing but the property of a particle which is responsible for the electrical force, and the SI unit of charge is coulomb. Yesterday we have studied up to that. After that we studied electric current. Electric current is nothing but rate of flow of charges, and also we have studied before the electric current we studied properties of charges. In that there are 5 properties are very important. Charge is not affected by motion. Like charges repel each other, unlike charges attract each other. And the third one is charge is quantized and charge is conserved, and charges reside only on the outer surface of the conductor. And after that, these flow of charges constitutes electric current. That is, electric current is defined as rate of flow of charges through a cross section of a conductor. So electric current I is equal to Q by T. If you take instantaneous value, that is dQ by dt, that is a small change in. If you take a change in current, that will be a small amount of charges flows in a small amount of period of time, then it will be a instantaneous value that will come under AC current. We will study in further classes. So after that, the unit of electric current is ampere, which is represented by A. 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb by 1 second. That is, 1 ampere is defined as 1 coulomb of charge is moved through a cross section of a conductor in 1 second. Then now we are going to study direction of electric current, direction of conventional current. That is, this is a simple electronic circuit I have drawn here. Here, this is the symbol of your cell that you might have studied, and DC source is connected. You can also call DC source DC, the cell which gives us DC voltage, and the wire is connected to a conductor, copper conductor, whatever, copper plate or something. Anything copper, aluminum, anything you can take. See, in conductors obviously there will be more number of free electrons. Each atom in copper, each atom donates one free electron. So there will be so many atoms. So these free electrons are moving freely inside the conductor. So they are free to move inside the conductor. When you connect a wire, any conducting wire, through a battery, what happens? The electrons which are carrying negative charge, they are attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery. Cell, you might have already studied how it will be. A cell will be like negative charges are accommodated here because of chemical reaction, and positive charges are accommodated here, something like that. There will be separation between positive and negative charges. So these electrons are attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery, and this is the direction of flow of charges, direction of flow of electrons you can call. So electrons will flow in this direction within this circuit. Circuit is nothing but will study again. Electrons will be flowing like this. It will flow from the conductor to the negative terminal of the positive terminal of the battery, and from negative terminal of the battery, electrons are flowing through the conductor. This will be the direction of electrons, whereas the current, electric current, will flow opposite to the direction of electrons. The conventional current flows in a direction opposite to the flow of electrons. Okay, so should always remember, current flows from positive terminal of the battery to the negative terminal of the battery, whereas electrons flows from negative terminal of the battery to the positive terminal of the battery. Okay. Next is, we have studied charge. Next is potential difference. It is also called as voltage in your terms. Potential difference is nothing but it's an electrical potential difference, electric potential. See, for example, you might be knowing or aware of potential energy. So what do you mean by potential energy? Potential, that is gravitational potential energy. For example, if you throw a ball from this distance to the ground, it will fall easily because of gravitational force. If you throw a ball on the floor, the speed of the ball thrown from the height will be fast. It will reach the earth first. See, for example, one more thing, the best example to understand potential difference is the flow of water between two vessels. Here there is a flow of water between two vessels. Assume these two are the same level. These two vessels are at the same level. Pipe is connected in between them. Can you expect the flow of water from B to A? Can you expect when they are at the same level? No. But if you want the water should flow from this B to A, means you should do something like the B tank should be kept in some height. Then the flow, you can expect a flow of water near to here. When I placed vessels A and B at the same level, whatever may be the quantity of water, the water will not flow. It will not depend on quantity of water. Water will flow from the vessel which is placed at the height from the vessel A. So the water will flow when you did some work. You did some work. As we know, in the earlier circuit I have connected a voltage source along with the conductor. The current used to flow in that wire, in the conductor. See what happened. Why did I connect that voltage? Voltage source is nothing. Voltage is nothing but again potential difference. The water, if the water should flow from one vessel to another, means the vessel, one of the vessels should be kept at the height. You did some work, right? In the same way, current, voltage, if you apply voltage, the current will flow, will tell. For the current to flow, there should be movement of charges. Charges should flow from one point to another, then you can tell the current is flowing, right? So current needs a path to flow. Therefore, if you want charges should be moved from one point to another, it will not simply move like that only. There should be some work should be done to make that charges to flow in the conductor. For example, you can take one more example. You can place a heated vessel near the normal vessel or any metal, heated metal to the normal metal. What happens? Unheated one. What happens? The heat will be transferred from one vessel to the another. It depends on the temperature of the vessels. So equal temperature attains, up to that it will be transferring heat. In the same way, water flow, I have given an example. In the same way, if the charge to be moved from one point to another means, for example, the conductor, there will be charges will be moving like this, freely moving inside the conductor. So you want that charge to be moved in this wire. Connect this. Means it will not move like that only. I have told you, we have applied a voltage, that is cell is placed in between that. What happened? Here, this is a positive potential, this plate, this is a negative potential. These positive potential attracted the electrons towards this, then charges starts flowing. So some work needs to be done to the flow of charges. That is nothing but potential difference. In case of water, a gravitational potential works, whereas in case of the moment of charges, electric potential works. So always the electrons travel from lower potential to the higher potential. Okay, so negative potential to the positive potential, whatever you can tell. Okay, so potential difference is nothing but the amount of work done in moving unit charge through a cross section of a conductor. The amount of work done to move a unit charge from one point to another in a closed circuit is nothing but potential difference. It is amount of work done moving unit charge from one point to other in a closed circuit is nothing but potential difference, or you can even call as P. Voltage is represented by V, W by Q. That means the Q charge should be, if W is the work done in moving the charge, Q. If Q charge should be moved in a conductor, then we should do some work, that is we have taken that as W, then W by Q, that is amount of work done in moving unit charge from one point to another, then it is said to be potential difference, electrical potential. Electrical potential difference will be attained by our DC sources, that is our cells or batteries. Okay. Okay. When if 1 joule of work is done in moving 1 coulomb of charge, then voltage is said to be, potential difference is said to be 1 volt. That means volt is the SI unit of potential difference. So if 1 joule of work is done in moving 1 coulomb of charge from one point to other, then you can tell it is 1 volt. 1 joule by 1 coulomb, and then the potential difference is said to be 1 volt. Okay. Now we came to know what is charge. What is electric current, what is the unit of charge, what is the unit of current, and also what is potential difference and what is the unit of potential difference. Okay. Now we will go to direct DC and AC. That is direct current. DC is nothing but direct current. Direct current is nothing but which has same magnitude. It will not change its magnitude. That magnitude remains constant and it flows in only one direction. The current that flows in only one direction and it will not, the magnitude remains constant, then the current is said to be DC current. DC is nothing but the current that flows in only one direction and magnitude remains constant. Then it is said to be DC current. For example, if you connect a bulb over here to a cell, DC source is connected, a cell is connected here. If you connect a bulb over here, the electrons from here to here, electrons will flow like this. Electrons flow from positive terminal, electrons will flow from, current will flow from this direction, electrons will flow from negative terminal of the battery to the positive terminal of the battery, whereas current will flow in opposite to the direction of electrons and current will flow like this only. It will be in a circular motion and the magnitude of the current, value of the current remains constant. So if you draw a graph, I will take x-axis as time axis and DC current or current or voltage anything DC, that will be a straight line you can expect. That means if at any time you can measure the current will be of same value and also it will flow in only one direction. Okay, the electrons will be moving like this only and current will be moving in the opposite to the flow of direction. Whereas AC magnitude and direction changes periodically and continuously with time. That means AC current, if you draw a graph, this is time axis, the voltage or current, whatever you can take DC value, it will not a straight line, it is a side wave. That means if you take the time in the x-axis, the current value is continuously varying, and also to one half cycle it will be in one direction, the next half cycle it will change its direction. Okay, that means the current whose magnitude and direction changes continuously and periodically with time, that is known as AC. That means alternating current. For example, this is a symbol of AC. I will connect a bulb over here. In AC, the current will be the flow of electrons. The flow of electrons will be like, if electrons are flowing here, from here to here, once it will flow from this point to, once this point will be positive and this will be negative for this half cycle, electrons will flow like this and this. Electrons will be flowing like this, whereas in case of DC, electrons will be flowing like this only. Electrons is continuously flowing, the current will be flowing like this, whereas electrons will be flowing like this, once like this and like this. So continuously changing the magnitude and periodically changing the direction. So the current which changes its direction and magnitude continuously periodically with time, that is known as AC current. Okay. In our house, from KEB lines we get AC, not DC. Okay. See, there should be one question arises. The AC current will not remain constant. It will be changing and reaching the highest position and coming down. Then it will reach zero value and again increases in negative direction, something like that. When the voltage becomes zero, that means switched off. Voltage becomes zero means what? Bulb should not glow, right? But it will glow. ನೀವು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ KEB ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಲೈಟ್ ಆಗಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಇನ್ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಸೆಂಟ್ ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಉರಿತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದೇನು ಆಫ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ವೈ? ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್. Let's you people think about this. Ask anyone. If you come to know the answer, please let me know. Okay. This is only the homework for you in electronics. Now comparison between AC and DC. Direct current and alternating current. The first one is the circuit symbol of DC source is this one, whereas the circuit symbol of AC source is this one. the circuit symbol of DC source is this, and AC source we represent like this. And in direct current, magnitude remains constant with time, whereas magnitude changes continuously. Magnitude in the sense value of current or voltage, and flows in only one direction, whereas AC changes direction periodically. That means for one half cycle it will be in one direction, and another half cycle it will take the opposite direction. Okay, and while transferring DC, if you while transferring DC, maximum energy loss, whereas you can transfer AC for long distances, minimum energy loss. Okay, and the DC sources are cells, batteries, DC generators, and here AC sources are AC generators, oscillators, and function generators, extra. Okay, this is the difference between AC and DC, and also negative DC voltage and current may represent using V and I, whereas AC will be represented V and small I. Okay, that's all for today's class. Read the textbook, and any doubts please ask me. Thank you.